You know, in the last several years, there has been an amazing phenomenon has occurred around Italian cars, and that is there's been this huge and dramatic increase in prices. Every auction seems to have fed this uh, frenzy, where you see cars that were 50, $60,000 10 years ago, climbing to five and six and $700,000, and then hitting a million and going to 1.5. And I mean, there's some cars around now that were, granted, always expensive, but they've topped 20, 30, 40 million dollars for for a sports car from the 1950s or 60s. Uh, it's a phenomenon that doesn't seem to be giving it up anytime soon. So, the prices will go up there and stay there for a while. Well, then you have owners of these very, very high-end cars, and they really don't have the enjoyment of taking the car out and using it the way they would like to, simply because there's too much money invested. There's insurance companies. I mean, basically, you're driving a small corporation around. So what we have seen in the last few years is we sort of developed this little cottage industry here that sits outside of actual restoration, where we take pure blood Ferrari cars, but ones that nobody really is that engaged with, and we rebody them as cars that are maybe worth 20, 25, or 30 million dollars. Now, this may seem a little silly, but these cars have significant value when they're finished, as long as they are done to perfection. Today on Guilds Classics, we visit Alan Metal Shop. He's just putting the finishing touches on the coachwork for the Ferrari project, and now once he's done, it's off to paint.
Hi, I'm Al, and I'm the lead metalworker here at the Guild, and today we're reaching a very important and long time coming milestone. The Ferrari rear skins are about to go out to Mel to get painted on the inside, and then we're going to do the final body work and priming of the rear skins. It's pretty exciting because I've been working on this for a really long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing it all come together. I've got a little bit of work left, a little bit of filing, a little bit of taking some welds off, a little bit of popping some low spots up, but otherwise we're pretty much ready to do the final finishing on the body. I've got to get my little dolly in here and finish straightening out the rest of these flanges, which is actually kind of fun. I didn't have any dollies that would fit in there, and so I just took a nice little chunk of steel and chopped it off on the new King bandsaw and used their belt grinder to make myself a cute little teardrop dolly that fits in right where it needs to, which is kind of fun when you got all that equipment. You can make exactly what you need for the job, throw it in your toolbox, and it's waiting for you later whenever you need to do a job like that again. But yeah, I'm really excited because we're about to send this out, and I'm about to start to see what things look like with paint on them, and we'll put them on the chassis. Yeah, I gotta say it's been a challenge because for the last, couple months or so, it doesn't necessarily look like a lot has changed. I've had the rear skins more or less together, the front skins more or less together, but the difference between almost right and absolutely right is a lot of really careful, subtle work. And you're adjusting things and you're bringing it all together, and when you get everything together you realize that another part has to move a little bit, and so you're doing this final finishing, and it can be a little frustrating at times because you want to see big progress, but you really can't send it off to the next step until you've got it just right, and it requires just going over the entire body super carefully, comparing it to your buck, comparing it to your photographs, and making sure that the curves look just right and adjusting them as necessary. One of the most exciting things about working on a handmade car like this is that you're always learning, you're always refining your skills, and I've really enjoyed getting super comfortable with working the aluminum from scratch, welding it together and putting the shapes into it and being able to sort of push it around like modeling clay. When Mel gets the skins, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to prime the interior, because once we put the skins on the car, we can't access the inside, so we want everything to be sealed and pretty and a nice flat black. And then after he does the interior, we're going to do a couple of coats of high build. Everything's going to get block sanded down, and then it's going to get primed, and once the skins then go back on the chassis, we can do the final painting.